Mojang. Wait, what? Also, by the way, thank you so very, very much, Mojang. And the bookshelf for you, and, there. I'll just sheath it comfortably beside me in my desk here. You can just see it poking out right here. Anyhow, so I'm doing this vlog because I have a few things to talk to all of you about. Two update things. Well, sort of three. 2 to 3 update things, 2.5 updatey things, and yeah, one other thing. Let's start with the one other thing. So, as you may or may not be able to tell, I'm a little bit sick, which kind of sucks. But, as most of you will not know, or, okay, most of you will probably know this because I know basically all of you. But that's besides the point. Hypothetically, what most of you would not know is that even though I am sick and was sick pretty much all this week, yesterday we had a choir concert and I had a solo to sing. So at this point in time, if I have any, I will be rolling footage of me singing my solo while sick. But it was a pretty sick solo, so get it? Because it's sick, like I was ill, but at the same time it's sick because, like, it was rad, like, super cool, stuff like that. Anyhow, if there's footage, it will roll right here. Okay, now that that's done, if it is done, I don't know if anyone has footage of that, so I can't tell. If and now that that's done, let's move on to update number 1. So update number 1 is obviously 1.10. Polar bears and the new zombies and skeletons and the magma and the bone blocks, and most excitingly, the structure blocks. Those are gonna be super exciting. I'm super pumped about those. Yeah. So updates and how I feel about them. Mojang, after 1.8, all throughout the development of 1.8 and 1.9, I felt that it was taking way too long to get any updates, and I was like, come on, just give me stable content right now. Just like that. Just snap of the fingers and content for servers and stuff like this. And then 1.10 rolled out, and that's exactly what they did. And because of that, I'm super happy. But I'm also a little bit sad because, well, firstly, it's not something I'm used to, getting content so early. And secondly, because 1.10 almost felt like a letdown of an update. Like, it just kind of came in there and nobody was expecting it, and it didn't come out with like a bang and everyone was like, yeah, update time, hands in the air, you can't even see them, but I don't care. Whereas like 1.8 and 1.9, there was like a huge bang about them and everyone was super pumped for them, but almost not anymore, because like people had gotten bored of waiting for them. Whereas this one, they hadn't gotten excited about waiting for it yet. And I feel like they're two extremes of a spectrum of updatiness that I don't really want. Like, they're kind of not perfect yet. 1.8 and 1.9 was too much in too long, and this was not enough in just a super short amount of time. And both of those have good things about them, because 1.8 and 1.9 had lots of stuff, and that was super exciting. And 1.10 was just out, and it was there, and bam, done. Like, I'm pretty sure, 95% and a half sure, that 1.10 is the quickest update in a very long time, since like the secret Friday updates, pretty much. Like, it was just here. So on the one hand, both of those things are good, but on the other hand, 1.10 didn't have a whole lot to it. It just kind of happened, and then I was a little bit disappointed in... I was expecting more from it and for it, and then 1.8 and 1.9 just took forever, and I didn't like that either. So, I don't really know. I feel like we have to go somewhere in between, and then we will find our... if we get kind of halfway in between those, then I think we'll have a more optimal updating schedule. And we will probably never find the optimal updating schedule. We will never find a way to update Minecraft that makes everybody happy. But I think that the way to make the most people happy is a balance of content and timing. Just my thoughts on that. So, next order of business is another thing about updates, and this is an update about the channel and stuff like this. So I have been thinking, because I have been prodded by other people to think, and one of them is my father, who took courses in economics and running businesses and stuff in college, university thing, and the other is, of course, YouTube. YouTube Creator Studio, which is great. If you are thinking of starting a channel, they are a fantastic resource, so use them. But I have been thinking about this, and on this channel, I have not been very good at branding. It is true. It is also unfortunate. You have Minecraft, and you have music, and you got vlogs, and you kind of got a little bit of everything. And that's sort of because I'm trying to find my niche in the YouTube ecosystem. I'm trying to find, like, what I like doing most, and what lets me produce the most content, and what everybody else likes, and what I'm good at, and stuff like this. I'm trying to find where I fit in so that I make good content that people like, that I like making, all of this stuff. The problem is, I'm relatively good at sort of most of these things, and I feel that I can make good content, and although the stats do not tell me how much you guys like this kind of stuff, I feel like most of my videos are videos that you guys like. I mean, that's something I like, but it's not that great for branding and stuff. So what I'm going to do is we're kind of going to split the channel off. On the one hand, we're going to have Neptune's Orca 2, and that's going to be all your Minecraft stuff. You got your Vamcraft Adventures, your Neptune's Archipelago, which is coming this month. Get pumped. Also, there are outdated things in it because I recorded it forever ago. But we'll come to that bridge we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Moving on. So that's like all your Minecraft stuff, and I'm going to keep the vlogs on there because I don't think they're going to fit on the other one. And the other channel that we're going to split off to is Orca Song Music. And that's going to be stuff like the Abysmally Cheerful Song and the other pieces of music that I'm going to write for you. And here's where the bit about update, the 0.5 of the 2.5 updates comes in. Another project that I'm sort of gonna do and sort of not gonna do, it's gonna take a long time, and I am probably not gonna get it done all by myself, because when it comes to writing music, I'm not that creative of a person. But anyhow, so one thing that I have thought about doing, and I feel like God has prodded me to do for a while now, is write songs about the Heidelberg Catechism. And a lot of you, some of you, may not know what that is. Basically, it's a bunch of sermons that are based on Christian Reformed theology, and it's just like, it takes like 3 years to do every one of these sermons, and like they're all lessons, and they're organized into questions and answers. And here, I'll pull some of it up for a second here. So like they all start under the heading Lord's Day and then a day number. So like Lord's Day number 1. 1. Question. What is your only comfort in life and death? Answer. That I am not my own, but belong with body and soul both in life and death to my faithful Savior Jesus Christ. There's more, but I don't have time to read it for all of it for you. But what's interesting is that, like, when the Heidelberg Catechism was created, it's not just like the people who made it were like, yeah, that sounds good, put that down in there, we'll make a sermon about it, done. What's interesting is that there's little numbers by most of the lines. Like, after not my own, there's a little number 1, you go down, and it has a reference to 1 Corinthians 6, verse 19 and 20. And in death, it has a 2, and you can read about that in Romans 14, 7 to 9. And then Savior Jesus Christ has a little 3, 1 Corinthians 3, verse 23, and Titus 2, verse 14. So it's kind of like how you would go about teaching somebody what the Christian Reformed Church is all about. And there are so many days. The scroll bar is so long on this PDF. There are 51 days and like 129 questions. And what I want to do is write a song so that there is at least one song for every Lord's Day. Or at least like every Lord's Day is encompassed in a song. So maybe that means mixing Lord's Day 1, 2, and 3 all together, because they kind of string up. So yeah, we're going to call it Project Heidelberg. And yeah, I'm super excited to make some music for you. This is highly unlikely, but maybe by the time I'm done editing this video, I'll have actually made some music for it. Not likely. Like, I have been working at making some music, and like, I've got a couple of some pretty neat tunes that I could use for this, but putting the lyrics to the tunes, and there's probably going to be a bit of a process of converting the Q&A of the Heidelberg Catechism into kind of something that like can be sung. But we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Eventually, probably by the time I'm like 45 and a half, we will hopefully have finished Project Heidelberg. And I haven't gotten this far in planning and organizing, but what I'm hoping to do is make Project Heidelberg like an open source kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is some of you are more creative than me musically and have more time on your hands with which to create music. And what I would like to do is include you in that. If you want to go and pick up a copy of the Heidelberg Catechism, just search up Heidelberg space Catechism, and catechism is spelled Catechism. Catechism. Oh, you probably don't know how to spell Heidelberg. 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 So Heidelberg Catechism, and then put another space and PDF, and you will find the Heidelberg Catechism. Now, what I would also encourage you to do is don't write a song about something you don't believe in. So if you don't believe in the Heidelberg Catechism, that is perfectly fine. I will probably disagree with you about some theological things, perhaps many theological things, but hey, you are entitled to believe what you will. I have to respect that you are going to believe what you believe, and you have to respect that I'm going to believe what I believe. And hopefully we can both learn and grow with and from each other. So by interacting and discussing these things like civil and civilized people, we can hopefully both garner a greater respect for each other and a greater sense of what it means to be human and what we do believe. Tangent here, I've recently been discussing theology with people on the internet via Crash Course Philosophy, and it's actually made me think a lot, and that's been good. And the one thing that I've tried to tell people to do as I discuss theology with them is like, I'm going to give you all these points, all these things that show all this evidence that would seem to prove that I'm right in how I think. But then I go and I say, but what I really want you to do is I just want you to think. I hope that what I've done is I've just made you think a little bit more about what you believe. And in doing this, people have given points to me, and I've been like, why do I believe what I believe? What makes my beliefs my beliefs? And in some ways, it's made me doubt. I've been like, I don't know what to believe anymore. And in other ways, I've been like, line in the sand, this is what I believe because I believe it, and because I feel that it is true. I mean, it's not just that. There's usually, like, evidence. But in some ways it has made me doubt, and in some ways it has strengthened my faith, because I look at it and I go, no, this is just what is true. I'm going to stick by it because I believe it. Even though there are these worms of doubt going through me, there's also this faith that tells me that what I am believing is right to believe. And other things also, just, yeah. It's been super cool arguing theology over the internet. But it's only cool when people actually discuss it with you civilly and, like, properly and stuff. So yeah, let that be a lesson to all of you. If you're discussing theology over the internet, do it civilly and respectfully. Don't be an idiot. Just talk to people nicely. and like actually argue with them. Don't just always attack their points and just like take stuff out of context and stuff. Read their whole argument, top to bottom, beginning to end, all the way through, every last word. Maybe read it through a couple of times if you don't really understand what they're saying. And then talk about each one of their points and explain why it doesn't work, and then bring some points of your own to the table. Explain, try to prove your point a little bit more. And then they can come back to you and they can be like, I see that this could be incorrect. But you know what? Here, I'll defend my point against your counter, and I'll counter your points. And that's how you argue properly. And sometimes people don't do that, and it makes it a lot less fun and enjoyable to argue with them. Because you're like, you're just attacking my points. You're not trying to counter them with evidence of your own or bring up your own points or anything. And it makes me sad. But I digress. So anyhow, if you like this video, then click the like button. It will be a thumbs up. Hit the thing that resembles this thing. Please. That would be lovely. Also, you see that guy over there? This is video 2 of 2 for May, which I am posting in June. And if you want to hear more about that, click on that guy. There's some cooking of eggs on a griddle, and some apology, and some other stuff. It's pretty good. You should check it out. And yeah, that's about it. Check out my website, because there's lots of crazy stuff going on over there. And if I do ever organize my life enough to organize Project Heidelberg for like its own website, it will be linked for sure to my website at sites.google.com/site/NeptunesOrcaII, which has basically everything, pretty much everything you ever wanted to know about me and my channel, and yeah, everything, just the whole universe. Yeah, totally, the whole universe. And also, if you really liked this video, or maybe even if you didn't, but you just want to see my face more, then click the subscribe button. Or you can click on the jellyfish to subscribe, because who doesn't like jellyfish? You could either go down there-ish to click a boring old subscribe button, or you could click on a jellyfish. Who doesn't want to click on a jellyfish? Blech. So squishy. Actually, it's not. It's made of glass, but if it were a real jellyfish, it would be squishy. You can pretend as you click it literally with your mouth that it's very squishy jellyfish. So squishy. Yeah. Stay stupendous, and I will see you